Can I add one thing about security, because I know it's a huge issue. First of all, just like gun control, there's no magic pill. There's no such thing as 100% security of the border. It ain't going to happen. If you don't believe me, look at history. The Soviet bloc and the Eastern Bloc build walls, build attack dogs, machine gun nests, mines, and guess what? People were still able to defect and people were able to get out. North Korea, same thing. And because that's just the nature of humanity. We will always be seeking to improve our lot in life. So you can build all the walls you want, but there's no 100% security. Quite frankly, the people that are really going to do us harm, they have the capability to not have to go through a desert, okay, with a coyote who's going to hold them hostage here sometime outside of Austin for another $5,000, right? The people that we really should be fearing, our border security is really not going to be dealing with those issues. They're going to be dealing with, some of the other issues. So there's no 100%. What I really believe that we need to do is people out of the darkness and into the light. We need to get, you think about this for a minute, if we gave people driver's licenses, it was, oh my God, you're going to give them a license. Well, yeah, they're here. I like to make sure they understand the rules of the road, and then when they give me their fingerprints, now I know who they are, and now I've got a picture, and now they can buy insurance, right, because they have a license. Because guess what? Think about the economic impact of people being able to get a license, pay insurance. Your hit and run crashes, guess what happens to them? You're leaving the same, they go way down. Hopefully, if the insurance companies were nice enough, the cost for every person that's insured. So, I mean, there's so much that goes into this that people, if we are pragmatic about it, you can't argue. And the last thing I want to say, and I'll shut up for the rest of the thing, I promise, is the DREAM Act was a big thing, and poor Governor Perry was kind of getting beat up. You all remember during the presidential election. We've got a 50 to 55% dropout rate in this country, especially when you talk about Hispanic boys and African American boys. Whether we like it or not, you got to look at demographics. What's going on? If you can't get that Hispanic group to be successful, our future is pretty bleak. I mean, we're going to have to compete for immigrants in the future, especially when you look at the birth rate across the civilized world. This is what's so comical for me. In the next 10 to 15 years, to stay a world power, I really believe that we're going to have to not only have immigrants, we're going to have to rely on it, and we're going to have to compete with the French and the British and everybody else because they're not having babies. So I have this kid come up to me, Hispanic. He's one of my police activities league, Explorer. He's been with me for 5 years now. Graduates number 2 in his high school. Comes up to me, says, Chief, he's a Hispanic kid, tears in his eyes. He goes, and this kid's like, oh my God, what's he going to tell me? You never know, right? Especially in your business. Because I'm kind of like a priest too, not just a police chief. So just don't confess to a crime because I'm not your priest. Just remember that. And he says, Chief, I really want to be a police officer, but I'm an illegal immigrant. Oh my God, my heart dropped. What do I tell this kid? He wants to go to college. From my perspective, here's a kid that was brought here through no fault of his own. Right. He's about as American can be. He knows nothing else. How do you deport that kid, especially when he is proven to be an asset to our nation? One thing that the president said not this one, but the previous State of the Union, remember when he said, when he was talking about immigration, why would you want to deport those kids? They end up being our competitors, right? Especially when you have a 50 to 55% dropout rate. So I said, when we look at the data and we look at the challenges, we just have to be smart about immigration, we have to be realistic about immigration, and for the conservative folks, listen to your business people on KLBJ when this was going on last session. I couldn't believe how many folks would call in and say, with that great Texas draw, listen, I'm in this industry and I love to hire me legal white guys, but here's the problem. They don't show up to work half the time. They take 10 days with my Hispanic guys are doing 3 days because they're all strung on dope. I just can't find them. And so I think we just have to be real, right, be pragmatic, and let's deal with the issue. And I'll shut up now.
It's never been that there are not enough, that people who are born here won't work the jobs. It's just there are not enough people who were born here who will work some of those jobs in the traditional industries of agricultural, construction, and hospitality. And the border security issue, I don't think anyone realizes how successful we've been over the last 12 years, through the 8 years of the Bush administration, post 9/11, and the 4 years of the Obama administration on reducing you know, the border security problem. People do not get that, that the numbers are way down.